Greetings and welcome to our latest editorial. I am Russ Hatfield, along with Karra, who is my higher dimensional twin soul and a member of Ashtar Command. The editorial for January is a look at the power of thought on reality that we call the stages of creativity. The power to create reality is usually the stuff of science fiction until one can look back at their past and see how their thoughts brought about the life being lived. Here, Karra and I point out the guardrails that try to keep that creativity locked away inside and the spirit guides that are doing the exact opposite. Finally, we point out a major ally in the form of a twin soul, such as Karra is to me, that is in your corner, providing advice that helps create reality responsibly. Now, for a full transcript of this latest editorial, please go to our main homepage at HadesBasedNews.com. We invite you to subscribe, be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. And now we present the stages of creativity. The third dimension is good at one thing: denying the divinity of the human consciousness. The big secret is that everyone is a deity, with the knowledge of that secret being jealously guarded. There are cracks through the walls guarding that secret, and people are beginning to acknowledge their personal hidden power. From the very youngest years, there's always a force holding back that power that comes in the form of parents, schools, and places of work. Now, it might sound like we are saying that is a negative, but it is actually the exact opposite. It's a good thing that humanity stays humble and leaves the manifesting to the experts. What we would like to do in this editorial is take each of those three and look at the ways to avoid the obvious barriers to higher consciousness. Before that, though, we want to assure you that you are never alone and are always being helped and guided from planes other than the physical. It would be similar to more experienced gods training up and watching over less experienced gods. They are who we will discuss at the end. Let's begin. The parents make all the difference in the development or discouragement of creativity in young minds. In a perfect world, the child would be provided with all the literal building blocks to explore the many avenues of expression. Now, before ever entering into a public or private school system, there is a period of potential creativity that lacks the training to be an efficient creator of reality. Instead, what you get is a connection to those more experienced gods, and that creativity is often the genesis of invisible friends. These friends often explain what is being seen and offer advice and encouragement, especially when times are hard for a young child. They may come in the form of stuffed animals that come to life, or invisible fairies that show them the wonders of nature. Their roles fulfilled, they fade back into the background when no longer needed now that the connection has been established. The same goes for the parents who take a back seat to the educators that will now take over from here. Formal education, once it starts, is the process of filling a cup with knowledge until it is overflowing, and who retains the most is the winner. It's not empowering for the most part, but it isn't meant to be. Unlocking that creativity is the process of self-empowerment that comes when one discovers that real knowledge isn't learned, it's remembered. Listen again to the advice just below the surface of consciousness thought that comes when asked. It can help explain the way thoughts create the reality that is lived. See how the knowledge being learned at school can be integrated into the positive future being planned in the imagination. This might be a good time to discover the power of words that go along with the power of thought and the creation being planned. The one thing least taken advantage of, words have the power of creation themselves with every syllable. It's a good time to ask for help from the internet advice being offered about what words to use. It's the start of a long-term goal for success later in life once everything is integrated. That takes us to the workplace. The pattern from school is repeated in the workplace, where you start at the bottom and work your way up. The whole affair is meant to put you on a ladder one climbs or finds the ladders to ascend. It can sometimes be a soul-crushing experience, no matter the amount of education. The first days and week of a job, though, can be some of the most productive with little creativity. This is a follow-up from the plans made at school, which are now more clarified with a possible career in the making. It takes looking down the road at a goal that can now be defined and the aspects that need to be learned beforehand. All of this is part of the creativity process that brings that goal to fruition. If the connection to the advice that has been given is still maintained, that advice is still coming from your guides who established themselves as invisible friends from so long ago. A possible major player in that advice is a twin soul, working from a higher dimension. They have been there from the first incarnation and will always be there until the last breath. We hope this editorial may begin the process of establishing those relationships if they have been forgotten. Regardless, let the manifesting of a reality always be taking place with you in charge for a change. In love, light, and wisdom as one, Russ and Karra.